What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
This is the OPS Pregame Report.
And welcome live from Spartan Arena on the campus of Homestead High School, where we're getting set for this Friday night Summit Athletic Conference showdown between the Northrop Bruins and the Homestead Spartans. Good evening, I'm Brayden Carroll, joined alongside color broadcaster Chris Kohrman and sideline reporter Jenna Lane. We're just about 9 minutes away from tip-off of tonight's game, and Chris, another big SAC matchup tonight. Homestead's the favorite, but everybody knows Northrop's going to give them everything they've got.
Yeah, Northrop, a very talented team in the SAC. They got firepower all over on offense coming into a hostile environment here at Homestead. Northrop is definitely going to bring the best basketball game that they can tonight.
And now let's get into the OPS pregame report. Chris, Homestead and Northrop are both coming off wins. The Spartans extended their winning streak to 3 in a row with a big victory over then number 16 Lawrence North 55-46. And Northrop took care of business on Tuesday, cruising by Canterbury 66-48 behind 26 points from Jalen Jackson.
Jalen Jackson is a phenomenal player here in Fort Wayne. Definitely one of the best basketball players in Fort Wayne outside of Fletcher Lawyer, who put up 25 points in that Lawrence North game. And that was a huge win for Homestead against Lawrence North, just coming out and beating an indie school. That's not an easy task going against an indie school. And Homestead came out and played a really good second half of basketball in that game. They closed the game out perfectly.
And yet another 4A ranked win for the Spartans over Jack Kiefer's Lawrence North Wildcats. And now taking a look at standings in the SAC heading into tonight, Homestead is one of 3 one-loss teams fighting for a title shot, while Northrop is at 500 in SAC play. If Northrop can get a win tonight, not only do they jump Homestead in the standings, but they pretty much eliminate Sparty from the SAC's title race.
Yeah, tonight's a huge matchup for Homestead. Obviously, you need Snyder to lose one of these games if you want to win the conference. Snyder still has to play Southside, still has to play DeWanger, so there is a chance that Homestead can find themselves in that top spot, but Snyder has to lose. And for Northrop, they can surpass Homestead here in the SAC. So tonight, a big matchup for Northrop because they obviously want to prove that they are one of the top teams in the SAC and they can compete with Homestead and Snyder and the top teams.
And this is really a big matchup in conference play for Homestead. And speaking of conference play, we're at the halfway point, and Homestead has looked like a top team in the SAC through their first 5. Dominating wins over Dwenger, Lures, and Northside, a squeaker at Southside. But then there's that crucial defeat that Snyder handed them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know, you look at the game against Southside. Homestead had a battle in that matchup, saw Southside run the tempo a little bit, and, you know, Homestead just kind of let them run their thing and run fast. And Homestead does not do well when teams try to speed that up. And that's, you know, one of the reasons why Homestead lost to Snyder. Snyder controlled the tempo of that game, and Homestead really struggled in stopping Carson Jenkins.
And that loss is so critical. Snyder now has the tiebreaker over Homestead. Both one-loss teams. Homestead now just has to rely on Snyder losing eventually this season. And once again, we've got 2 future D1 athletes facing off. Northrop's Jalen Jackson, a University of Illinois Chicago signee, and Homestead's Fletcher Lawyer, a Purdue signee, both in the class of 2022. Former arch rivals from Jalen Jackson's days at Carroll. Leading scorers on their teams. Should be a fun one to see these two on the floor.
Yeah, it's, you know, obviously one of the big matchups tonight in the SAC, and it all comes down to Fletcher Lawyer against Jalen Jackson. Obviously, you don't want to see a one-on-one type game tonight between them, but those are definitely the 2 leaders of these 2 squads playing tonight.
And that will take us into our first break. Coming up, an in-depth look at the Northrop Bruins and a look at the series between these 2 squads. The OPS pregame report continues after this.
wait to get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
And welcome back to the OPS pregame show ahead of tonight's action between Homestead and Northrop. I'm Brayden Carroll, joined by Chris Kohrman. Spartan Arena filling up as we're getting closer to the start of the game. And taking a look at the season for the Bruins, they've played good in stretches. Starting off the year 4-1, then lost 6 of their next 8 before starting up with their new 2-game winning streak. If anything, the Bruins are looking for some consistency in their week-to-week performance.
Just the one big thing to look at there in the Northrop schedule, they had to play in that tournament down at Richmond. They played 4 games in 2 days. That's tough to do, and they were able to come out of that tournament 2-2. Obviously won the first 2 on the first day, then played in the winner's bracket and struggled. But man, playing 4 games in 2 days, that's tough.
And this series has a lot of history in it, all compiling up to this big 35th meeting between these two in a tied series, 17-all.
Yeah, 17-17 in this series. One team's going to take the lead after that tonight. 18-17. These past matchups in the past couple years have been good ones.
And Chris, we talked a little bit about Jalen Jackson earlier. Let's go a little deeper into his play. 30.5 points per game. Fantastic player.
Yeah, 30 points per game. That's amazing, and that's definitely the leader for Northrop. If he has a big night tonight, Homestead might be in a little bit of trouble.
Looking for an 830-plus point per game, and that'll take us to a break in the OPS pregame show. Homestead Northrop Friday night section coming up.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Tonight, the final SAC doubleheader. The girls ranked #1 in the state of Indiana, and the boys sitting at 13. Coming up, it's Northrop at Homestead.
And welcome to the OPS pregame show. I'm Brayden Carroll, joined alongside Chris Kohrman, live from Spartan Arena for tonight's SAC matchup between Homestead and Northrop. Let's take another look inside the series. We didn't get into it too much there. This is the 35th meeting and a series tied at 17-all. A lot of classic battles in this series. And even before they became conference foes, there was a little bad blood between these two schools.
Yeah, even meeting in the IHSA state tournament, playing at the regional was Homestead and Northrop. Obviously haven't had that rematch since 2012, and recently you see the longest win streaks for Homestead. It was 5. It was fairly recent, 2014 to 2019, and then Northrop got a win at home and then won the next year at Homestead. So, Northrop has found recent success against Homestead. Obviously, Homestead went undefeated last year, so they beat Northrop, but recent success, was 2-1 to Northrop.
And the fact that this series is tied just brings that much more energy to this game. The winner gets a little bit of bragging rights in this series. And Chris, we talked a little bit about Jalen Jackson earlier. Let's go a little deeper into his play. One of the premier scorers in the state. He averages 30.5 points per game, the unanimous leader of this team. The offense lives and dies by number 1.
2 games of 40-plus points this year. That's outstanding. Doing it once is hard to do, but he's done it twice, and he's got 7 games at 30-plus points. So, it's very impressive coming from Jalen Jackson. And like I said earlier, if he gets hot tonight at Homestead, they got to keep him in front.
7 games of 30-plus points. That's unbelievable. That pretty much means his 26-point performance against Canterbury was kind of below his expectations.
Yeah, and, he does feed off the energy. I heard that in an interview. He said he feeds off the energy, feeds off the big crowds, and, that could have been one of the reasons he didn't, go all out for the Canterbury game. Not a game with a lot of hype, but tonight there's a lot of hype surrounding this game, and I expect Jalen Jackson to be the player that feeds off of it and really gets this Northrop team going.
Oh, yeah, both student sections really showed up to this big game. And now let's send it down to sideline reporter Jenna Lane, who's standing by with Coach Chris Johnson.
Thanks, Brayden. Coach, another important conference game tonight. How do you slow down their go-to player, Jalen Jackson?
Well, we're going to have to know where he is. Very physical player. Played against him for 3 years when he was at Carroll, so I know what type of player he is. We're going to have to make sure we're helping out because we know he's going to get to the basket.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Brayden, back to you.
Thank you, Jenna. Big game tonight between Homestead and Northrop. The last time we saw it at Spartan Arena, it belonged to the Bruins. Homestead looking for a big home win against the Spartans.
Yeah, tonight's a really big matchup. Like you said, last time Northrop was here, they got a victory. Homestead does not like that, and like Coach Johnson said in his interview, keep Jalen Jackson in front of you, and you got to know where he is at all times tonight.
You talked a little bit about the environment here. It is fantastic. The band is here. They've only been here for one other basketball game. The student section, it's going up a whole lot of rows. It's almost halfway to the top. Northrop showed up too. They were up there in that deep left corner. Fantastic environment.
Just feels like this is what Indiana basketball should be like. Obviously, these past 2 years have been a little iffy with the fans, but it feels like now we are getting back to what Indiana basketball should be. Large crowds in a big environment.
You see games like this and crowds like this, and sports is back. Indiana basketball is back. This is kind of like the Snyder environment, really.
Yeah, that was a big matchup. You saw 2 student sections, like you said. Just a very deep environment, loud crowd.
And let's take a look at the OPS starting lineups for Homestead and Northrop. For the Bruins, it will be number 1, Jalen Jackson, the senior 6'3" guard. Number 3, Jaden Schmink, the junior 6-foot guard. Number 11, Devin Campos, the senior 6'2" guard. Number 15, Amarian Inolls, the junior 5'10" guard. And number 25, Dahlman Alexander, the junior 6'6" forward and center.
Yeah, this is the same lineup we've seen from Northrop. A lot of confidence. Jalen Jackson, definitely the star. But I think big question for them is, can they get Schmink going? Can they get Campos going tonight? That's key for Northrop.
And, of course, the usual starting 5 for Homestead: Lawyer, Kalpawiki, Swing, and Andrew and Grant Leaper. Fletcher Lawyer's looking for a big performance tonight. He has got 30-plus points, 7 games this season. Both him and Jalen Jackson have the same amount.
Yeah, and, when you say, Homestead going with the same starting lineup, obviously there's a lot of trust in this lineup that they're going with. This is the lineup that they're going to live or die by come postseason time.
And now let's take a look at the Fort Wayne Orthopedics keys to the game. Chris, what do you have for these squads?
For Northrop, the big thing is can you just keep up with Jalen Jackson's physicality? Get other players playing physical. That's key for them. Get other players playing like Jalen Jackson. And, get off to a fast start for Northrop. I feel like if they come in here and take the crowd out of it, that could be big for them. Take the crowd out of the game, and then they can go on a little bit of a streak. For Homestead, Lawyer can't be the only one scoring tonight. You got to find scoring elsewhere, and that feeds into the last one. Get size going in this matchup. Northrop, not a very tall team. Can the Leapers take advantage of that? Can Grant Leaper get going? And can Andrew Leaper get going in the post?
Dalman Alexander, he has got a tough task ahead of him down in the paint on defense. 6'6", and he's got to go up against Grant Leaper and Andrew Leaper, who will be right down there with him, 6'6" and 6'7".
Yeah, like you said, that's, the tallest player on Northrop is 6'6", but Homestead's got two players 6'6" plus. So, Northrop's got their hands full if Homestead can get the size going in this matchup.
The officials tonight, Jeff Lytle, Todd Morgan, and Kevin Smith, officiating the game of the week in the Summit Athletic Conference. Packed gym at Spartan Arena. Thousands of fans coming for this game. Homestead and Northrop getting going. Kalpawiki heading down low and stolen. Jaden Schmick right there to intercept it. Pass out. Campos in the corner. And he gives to Innes. Now Jalen Jackson, the star, has it. Him and Lawyer, they're going to be the ones matching up against each other. Campos for three. No good, off the back of the iron, and Kalpawiki's there for the board.
That's a good rebound right there by Kyron Kalpawiki, not letting Northrop get second chance efforts. That's huge for Homestead tonight.
Kalpawiki, you don't often see him running the offense, but on this possession he will. And a timeout by Chris Johnson. Clearly that didn't seem to be the offensive plan.
And not just, it just was not a lot of ball movement on that right there. Kyron Kalpawiki was just handling it at the top of the key, and he couldn't pass it. He couldn't do anything with it. So Coach Johnson takes a timeout. Just a bad possession to start for Homestead.
Something interesting about these two teams, we talked about the Snyder game in the pregame show a little bit, about how the crowd was like that. Well, these two teams have seen Snyder in similar ways. Homestead lost to Snyder 74-69. Well, Northrop lost to Snyder 74-68.
They're that close of two teams. That's definitely key for tonight, is they're just that close of two teams. And, it's going to be a fun one, and that just shows how close these two teams really are.
Coach Chris Johnson, 387 is his win number. That's 13th among current coaches in Indiana. Fantastic head coach. And he is looking to get closer and closer to 400 this season. Lawyer, tight defense. Schmink, ball on the ground. Lawyer gets it back, and a jump ball called. Great defensive effort by the Bruins. Coach Chris Johnson discussing with the officials, but it will be Northrop ball.
Good take right there by Northrop defense. That's two straight takeaways for the Northrop defense. They're handling the Homestead offense very well.
Jalen Jackson, guarded by Swing. Star player for Northrop, averages 30.5 points per game. Unofficially a top 10 scorer in the state. Just a fantastic ball player. Double team him, cuts through the defense. Oh, a beautiful feed to Dalman Alexander, and the Bruins are first on the board.
Just a simple possession right there. Homestead tried to bring out two defenders on Jalen Jackson, and that left Alexander wide open, underneath the paint. I mean, that's just a very simple play for Northrop. I expect them to use that play a lot tonight and just finding open guys.
Andrew Leaper hits the three with the foul. They call a shooting foul, and Andrew Leaper will get a 4-point play attempt.
Yeah, just, a little slap on the wrist there from Jalen Jackson on Andrew Leaper, and a big three right there, just getting the scoring started for Homestead and getting the crowd involved.
And that kind of play to start off your scoring where you get 4 points on a possession, that's huge.
Yeah, and that's coming off of two straight turnovers that Northrop forced, and you kind of take the crowd out of it, two straight turnovers, and then you come back and you hit an and 1-3.
Jalen Jackson on offense for the Bruins, give to Schmink. Now Campos, left wing, back to Schmink. He passes out. Innes, three-pointer. Yes, sir! Amarian Innes from beyond.
A good three right there. Like we said in the keys of the game, can he get other guys shooting? And Innes right there, big three.
Grant Leaper spinning around, no space. Northrop got a steal. Schmink, fast break. Lot of defense on him. Can't hit the shot. Swing, now he's on the fast break, but Campos is there to get a steal. Excellent effort in transition by Tevin Campos.
Yeah, just coming right up from behind Grady Swing. Swing didn't see him coming, and Campos just snatches it from him and then had to make a great save. Ball almost goes out of bounds, and Campos makes a big save, giving Northrop another offensive possession.
Bruins on offense. Annals top of the key. Gives to Campos. Over to Schmink. 3 over Kalpawiki. Oh, baby! Northrop is starting off scoring in high efficiency from beyond.
Yeah, that's huge for Northrop, getting a little bit of compliment to Jalen Jackson. Now Schmink comes out and hit a 3. 2 straight players for Northrop hitting 3s.
Oh, Jalen Jackson with the steal. Fast break. Jam! Whoa! How about these Bruins? 10-4. Student section getting rowdy up in the corner. Bruins up 6 early.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena. Northrop up 10-4 early in this first quarter. Not even half of a quarter played, and the Bruins already hitting double digits. They are starting off electric.
Yeah, right there. Northrop's forcing a lot of turnovers. Homestead already has to be at 3 to 4 turnovers, and Northrop has taken advantage of them every time, and we saw that finish right there with a Jalen Jackson dunk.
Now Homestead, they've got to find a way to get some energy on their side, as it's Northrop right now who's got all the momentum early.
You can kind of feel just like the wind being taken out of the crowd right now. You weren't expecting Northrop to come out like that, and then they do, and the crowd's just stunned by it.
Homestead on offense, trying to get something going. Kalpawiki off the glass and into the cup. Tough shot between the glass and the back of the iron, but he got it. Still a 2-possession game. Bruins up 10-6. Schmink deep in the perimeter. Hand off. Jalen Jackson with it. Calling out his plays. Give to Campos. Back to Jackson. Northrop taking their time. Makes his move. Lost the ball. Kalpawiki ends up with it. Slows the play down. Grant Leaper with it down low. Hezzy off the glass and into the basket. 2-point game. Homestead getting the energy they needed.
Homestead doing what Northrop did. They take advantage of a bad turnover, and they go right down the court, move it a little bit in transition, and a really good finish by Grant Leaper.
Campos with it for the Bruins. Tried to get it to Schmink, stolen by Lawyer. Tough shot up, and he is fouled hard. Can't get the and one with it. Pretty accurate shot for somebody who was being pretty much spinned around.
Gotta love the aggressiveness right there by Fletcher Lawyer. Jumping to the ball, and then he takes it and just finishes right there. Just a tough foul coming from Northrop. Obviously, you have no choice. You don't want to give Fletcher Lawyer an easy layup, so they had to foul right there.
First free throw good. Fletcher Lawyer, the Purdue signee. He's arguably a front runner for Mr. Basketball. You could argue that he is that number 1 going for it. Maybe up there with Brayden Smith, Connor Esijan. Fantastic ball player.
Yeah, you know, that would be amazing for Homestead to bring another Mr. Basketball back to Homestead High School. You know, it's just an honor to be named Mr. Basketball.
And he is looking for that honor. Homestead, in fact, looking for 2 Mr. and Mrs. Basketballs. As Ayanna Patterson, she is definitely the front runner for Miss Basketball. Fletcher Lawyer is going for Mr. Basketball. Homestead would be the first in Indiana high school history to have both in the same year. But you could argue that they have very good chances at it.
Yeah, obviously the front runners right now you could say would be Fletcher Lawyer and Ayanna Patterson. And you know what a crazy thing it would be if you can get both Mr. and Mrs. Basketballs at the same school.
Northrop on offense. Tie game as they've allowed Homestead to get on a little run here. A 6-0 run after taking a 10-4 lead before the timeout. Oh, Campos lost the ball. He didn't even know where it was, spinning around looking for it. Like, where'd it go? Andrew Leeper, what'd you do? Jalen Jackson deep in the perimeter. Swing guarding, giving him some space. Jackson wants a screen. And that's an illegal one. Devin Campos didn't give him the screen he wanted, and that's a turnover.
A tough moving screen to take right there. Obviously, the goal there, just take Jalen Jackson off the screen and let him get open for a three. Just too much movement there on a screen.
Homestead with possession now. A lot of turnovers in the early goings of this game. Both teams finding it difficult to keep the ball in their hands. Lawyer tough, step-up jumper, no good. Campos board. Reynolds cross the timeline for the Bruins. He gives out Jaden Smith, best three-point shooter on this team, 58% from beyond. Don't want to give him too much space. Heads inside instead. Pass out, Campos in the corner. At the baseline, feed out Alexander, three. Yes, Alexander from beyond. Northrop, man, they are shooting fantastic from beyond.
Yeah, right now it feels like as long as Northrop doesn't turn the ball over, they're shooting the ball very well. So right now, if you're Northrop, just got to contain the basketball, and you're getting on the scoreboard.
Grant Leeper, a relatively deep shot for the kind of player he is, no good. Ball will stay with Homestead after a defensive foul. Ooh, and that's on Jalen Jackson. That's his second. And head coach Rod Shamble gonna have to bring in somebody as he enters foul trouble, and a timeout for Northrop. It looks like Jaden Schmink will be the one to sub in for him. That is a tough situation for Northrop.
Yeah, right now you want to look at the scoreboard, and you're seeing all over the board just other players scoring for Northrop. And right now you look at the turnovers, 5-3, not in Homestead's favor. So Homestead just got to clean it up, and a result, you're down by 3. So just got to keep a hold of the basketball right now. 5 turnovers, got to clean that up.
Northrop shooting 60% from beyond too, 3 of 5. So they're starting off really shooting fantastic right now. And there he is, Jaden Schmink. He will be on the floor for Jalen Jackson. Entering some foul trouble. Second foul just in this first quarter.
And without Jalen Jackson on the court right now, Northrop would have 11 points. Jalen Jackson only with 2 points, so that just shows Northrop, they're coming out and they're swinging the ball and they're using all sorts of players rather than just Jalen Jackson.
And Homestead's got some new faces on the floor too, as Max Schultz, Tucker Day, and Afani Ezekuto in. Grady Swing, Andrew Leeper, and Grant Leeper.
We've seen that same 3 switch almost every game, so see that going forward and even into the postseason, the same 3.
3 ball for Ezekuto. He has become a great shooter in the second half of this season.
Man, if Homestead can get him going, what a guy he could be in the postseason for this Homestead team. He could be the sharpshooter for Homestead in the postseason.
31% from beyond the arc heading into this game. If he can shoot like that, those numbers are only going to increase. 3 ball no good by Innes. Offensive board. Smith has it in the corner, out of bounds. Off of Smith. Stepped out of bounds before the ball was poked free.
Just a wide open 3 right there taken by Afani Ezekuto, giving him too much space. And right there, that was great defense by Homestead, trapping the Northrop player in the corner and forcing a turnover.
And both these teams opting, as Gus Johnson would say, to just rise and fire pretty much. Especially from beyond. Ezekuto thought about taking another one. Feeds Tucker Day. He wasn't really ready for it. Gets it. Blocked. Alexander's there to tip it. Tried to get another one, but he's called for a foul on that second attempt at a stuff.
Yeah, just too much contact right there. Coming from behind was Alexander, and that's a good rebound take right there by Tucker Day. Just getting a second chance effort, and right now that's key for Homestead. Can they get the second chance efforts? Right now they're doing a good job with the rebounding.
Tucker Day, not accustomed to shooting free throws. He's only attempted 4, now 5 this season. Only made 1 of those attempts. Inside of the top 80 is the only one below 10 free throw attempts. Makes that one though. 1 of 2 trip for Tucker Day. Homestead leads by 1, and Northrop probably going to hold here, give themselves the final possession of the quarter. About 5 seconds left now. Innes going inside, out to Alexander, back to Innes. Quick shot. Oh, he hit it! He got it to fall. A wild one, and the Bruins lead by 2 to end the first quarter. Why not, huh? Might as well take the lead after 8 minutes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Northrop leads by 2 after 1 quarter of play, and looking at some stats through these first 8 minutes, both teams shooting high percentage. Homestead not taking that many threes, but of the 2 they've taken, 100%. And Northrop, they're above 50%, having taken 7.
Yeah, you even look at the free throw shooting right now for Homestead, 4 of 5, 80% free throw shooting. That's something Homestead has done well throughout this season, is free throw shooting and three-point shooting, like you said, 100% right now. For Homestead, I think you just got to stick to what's working, and that's three-point shooting.
Fletcher Lawyer, he's got 2 points through 1 quarter of play, looking for more, averages 26.7 a game. Leading scorer for this team, among the leading scorers in the state. Top 10, in fact, along with Jalen Jackson, although Jalen Jackson's is unofficial. Lawyer's got it to the baseline. Nice backdoor feed to Schiltz, who had plenty of space for the layup.
Yeah, just a good backdoor pass right there. Taking a guy off of you, wants to trap Lawyer, and he just feeds it to the backdoor to Schiltz.
Smith to Alexander. Got stuffed partially by Day in the backboard, but that's a foul on Tucker Day. Second team foul, first for number 42. And heading to the line is Dahlman Alexander, a 63% free throw shooter.
Something you see on the bench right now is Jalen Jackson calling everybody over, just trying to calm them down and keep them focused on the game. That's the type of leader that Jalen Jackson is.
And right now, Alexander is having a great scoring game. He's up to 6 points, matching the amount he had against Canterbury on Wednesday. Missed that second one, though. 1 of 2 trip. Northrop leads by 1. Been a close game throughout this entire first quarter. Outside of Northrop getting that 10-4 lead, the Homestead came storming back, and it's been a close one since. Ezecuto, give to Day. Mid-range jumper, and that one was well short. Oh, nice save by Schiltz. Can Homestead keep it with them? Foul called on Kalpawiki as him and Campos were going for the loose ball. Northrop gets possession.
Yeah, that's good. You know, that's a really good takeaway there from Devin Campos. Just aggressive defense. Homestead has not seen a lot of that this season, so now a team's hitting them with some aggressive defense. Homestead, you got to react to it.
Campos, he loves to go after the ball. He had 3 steals against Canterbury in their last showing. And he knows Homestead well. In fact, he transferred here, or transferred from here to Northrop after his sophomore year. Ball out of bounds, stays with Northrop though. Grant Leeper is back in the game along with Grady Swing and Andrew Leeper. As Schiltz, Day, and Ezecuto once again switch with those 3.
Obviously, right now, Northrop has Jalen Jackson on the bench, so what we're seeing is Northrop finding a little bit more confidence and going down low. We've seen them keep feeding the ball to Alexander down low, so Northrop kind of switching up their offense. Obviously, you have to with Jalen Jackson on the bench.
Right now, they're doing it effectively, up 1 against the number 12 Spartans. Smith lost it. Campos gets it right back for the Bruins. Heading inside, and he's fouled. A hard foul as he was trying to cut through the needle of that double team. Called that one on Kyron Kapawiki, his second, as he is nearing some foul trouble.
Yeah, Kapawiki takes his second foul right there, and you see Homestead just trying to draw a double team, just too much contact taken right there.
Schmink has it for the Bruins, feed to Smith, hanging around the perimeter, moves to the mid-range, back out. Heads inside, tough shot over Kapwicki and Leaper, no good. Swing with it for the Spartans. Now Andrew Leaper bounce past Kapwicki, corner three. No good off the side of the iron, too strong. Here comes the Bruins, Schmink. Give Innels three. Yes! He has been lights out from beyond. Up to 9 points, all 9 coming from 3 balls. Andrew Leaper down low. Oh, he took a lot of contact as Alexander almost fell on him completely.
Yeah, Leaper tries to go for the jump, but right there, look at that, just a wide open three for Innels, and he hits it. That's his second big three tonight. And what you saw right there was Andrew Leaper. He tried to jump up to get a shooting foul. Official's not going to give him that one, so you got to take an inbounds.
He has been playing fantastic in this one. A player averages just 1.4 a game. Before this game, by the way, he was 0 of 5 on the season from beyond, or at least through his first 9 games, he was 0 of 5. He has really improved since that first 9, become a great three-point shooter. And he's showing off here.
A tough offensive foul to take. Right there was Northrop. And, a player, when Homestead played Southside had a guy that averaged 1 point a game and came out and scored 12 points in the first half. So we've seen players step up against Homestead, and it could just be the all-around hype that gets them motivated to come out and have a great game.
And Northrop already up to 7 fouls, so that foul on Smith sends Grant Leaper to the line. A 42% free throw shooter. He has struggled this season from beyond, and a whistle blown immediately. A lane violation on the Bruins, so another free throw here after Grant Leaper missed his first. How about these Bruins? Up 4 right now. They have come into this game heavy underdogs.
Yeah, something we talked about was, 2 years ago, Northrop came into Homestead and won. Coach Chamble is a great coach. He does well against Homestead. So, it is no surprise. Northrop feeding off the crowd, and they're coming out and they're playing very well. And they're doing it without Jalen Jackson for most of this first half. He's been on the bench since late in the first quarter.
Leaper makes that second. Technically a 2-of-2 trip, although the lane violation puts a little asterisk on that. 1 possession lead for the Bruins. Campos with it, double teamed. And a kickball violation on Grady's swing. They'll stay with the Bruins. Coming into Spartan Arena playing a great one. They're 6 of 8 all time in this arena. Innels pretty much bails it out to Schmink. And he drives down low. Smith gets it back. The greased pig is flying around the floor. Nobody can keep a hand on it. That's a foul on Fletcher Lawyer. His first. And Northrop gets away with one.
No one could keep the basketball right there. Both teams are just struggling to keep control of it, and Fletcher Lawyer takes a tough foul. Northrop retaining possession. This is a big possession for them.
3 from Smith. Top of the key and in. Yeah, shoot that arrow, Jaden Smith. First three-pointer of the game. 58% three-point shooter. He is accurate, and he's ready to get going.
You talked about Smith being the highest three-point percentage shooter on Northrop, and right there, he shows why, coming out and hitting a big 3. And for Northrop, if they can get him going and get him shooting some threes, this lead may increase.
2 players. Leaper talking it up with the Bruins a little bit. These 2 teams not exactly friendly with each other. Not quite arch rivals. That's reserved for Carroll and Snyder. These 2 teams definitely not the best of friends. Nice layup there by Andrew Leaper, by the way, as he immediately goes on the defensive end. Smith rejected by Grant Leaper. The Leaper brothers putting in an impact. And Lawyer from beyond on the offensive possession. Timeout, Northrop. Here comes Homestead. 23 all.
What a transition right there. You get the block, and Fletcher Lawyer comes down and hits a big three, and it's like, here comes the juice from the crowd. They're getting it going, and they're getting loud.
And Homestead, every time Northrop seems to really increase their lead big, Homestead's right there to put a stop to that. They are staying in this game despite the Bruins having their foot on the gas pedal through this entire start.
Obviously, you know, running in transition isn't necessarily Homestead's style. They don't look to do it all the time. But right there, it was just a continued possession. They got the block, and then Fletcher Lawyer said, let's push it. He goes down and hits a big three, and it forces Northrop into calling a timeout and trying to slow the momentum down for Homestead.
Lawyer's up to 5 points. Jalen Jackson back in the game after missing that start to the second quarter. Campos for three off the glass and not in the basket. Fast break, Andrew Leeper. Tough layup and got it to go. Sent Innes to the baseline as he faked him out.
Another transition bucket right there from Homestead, just getting off a miss. You grab the rebound, you go down, and you move it in transition, and you score. Homestead's transition offense is working right now.
Jalen Jackson spinning around, trying to open up some space, and he is fouled on the way up.
Homestead trying to match the way Jalen Jackson plays. Jalen definitely a physical player, and Homestead right now, you got to match it and try to stay in front of him, but it's just tough to do without drawing a foul.
Jalen Jackson, a 77% free throw shooter. He's a fantastic player. He received 10 D1 offers before committing and signing to UIC, a future Flame after this year as he misses that first one. He's unofficially among the top 10 in Indiana for points per game. Just a fantastic player here on the floor. And in the last game, the girls' game right before this, were his twin sisters, or he's not twins, but they are twins, Sanaya and Nevaeh Jackson. And they both have D1 offers as well to Mississippi Valley State. Jackson family, basketball family.
Yeah, and his mother was the one that went to the University of Illinois in Chicago, and Jalen said that helped him commit.
And he's following that family tradition. Going to the Flames. The Flames are getting a fantastic player, too.
Oh, yeah, phenomenal basketball player. Very physical, controls the game, and he's a great leader. You see him being a leader already out here for Northrop.
And it was left that one short behind some tight defense from the Spartans. Schultz give to Andrew Leeper in the corner. He gives to his brother Grant. Foul called. It's going to be on James Mallory. That's the 8th one for the Bruins. 1 and 1 for Grant Leeper.
Like you said, that's the 8th foul for Northrop in the second half. It's going to be crucial for them to stay out of foul trouble. You do not want to have that issue going down the stretch if this game does stay close in the second half.
Another missed free throw by Grant Leeper. Northrop gets it back. Down 3. They've been up for most of this game. Now they see themselves in the deficit. Jalen Jackson with 3 points. He's waiting patiently to get cooking tonight. And it was almost lost it. Schmenk now with it. Heading in on Fletcher Lawyer out. Campos three-pointer. No good. He can't get that one to go. Northrop starting to get a little cold from beyond. Down low, Andrew Leeper got some space on Campos. Spinned around him and got it to go at the baseline.
Good possession right there. Grady Swing with a great pass down low, and Andrew Leeper with a great finish. Homestead starting to hit their groove, up 5.
Jalen Jackson has it for the Northrop Bruins. 8-7 on the season, unranked in Class 4A. Tough shot, very much hunting for a foul. Can't get it to go. And can't get the foul call. Lawyer, step up and in! Timeout Bruins. Homestead firing on all cylinders. 32-24.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena. Spartans up 8 after getting on a big run to take the lead, nearing double digits on the Bruins. Northrop needs to put a stop to it as the first half wrapping up here. Campos double teams, get to Schmink. Back out, Campos three-pointer, has some space and knocks it down. Big three-pointer to give the Bruins some momentum.
Yeah, good shot right there by Devin Campos. Finally found himself open and is able to hit the three. Big three for Northrop, just bringing the lead back into within 5.
The 5 on the floor for Homestead. Lawyer, Andrew Leeper, Max Schiltz, Grant Leeper, and Gritty Swing. As Lawyer couldn't get that mid-range jumper. Schmink, baseline, floater, no good. And an offensive foul, a charge on Jaden Schmink. Homestead ball.
It's a good charge to take right there and forcing Northrop to A, give up the basketball, and B, give him another foul. That's Schmink's second foul. Just a good charge taken right there.
Now with a minute 10, Homestead has plenty of time here, up 5. If they really wanted to, they could go ahead and buy some time and wait for the final possession if they really wanted to. Of course, no shot clock in Indiana, so why not? Don't want to give Northrop an extra chance. And that will give him a chance as Grant Leeper called for the charge. Back-to-back charges between these two, and Northrop gets it back.
Yeah, I mean, just too much contact right there underneath the basket, and you give Northrop a chance to now go down and get a last-second shot, which will put this game within 1 possession heading into halftime.
40 seconds left. Northrop going to go ahead and hold the ball here.
But not like they did 3 years ago at Northrop when they just stood there late in the 4th quarter.
That was a little different. This one is a smart strategy, one widely accepted in Indiana. Jalen Jackson going up, can't get it. Second attempt, not good either. Oh, he hit the floor hard. Him and Grant Leeper took some tough contact. Jalen Jackson landed a little awkwardly. Grant Leeper kind of hooked his arm accidentally.
Yeah, and that just goes to show what kind of basketball player Jalen Jackson is, getting down there, being aggressive. After he missed that layup, he knew his mindset was, give me that basketball back and I'm going to go back up with it. And, he was willing to do anything he could to do that, and takes a tough foul. And now he gets the chance to go to the line and make this a 1-possession game.
Jalen Jackson heading to the line. Can't get it to go. Northrop in the bonus, by the way. So that was a 1-and-1. Lawyer, 7 seconds left. Final possession of the half here. Coach Johnson barking his signals. Schiltz, corner 3. Yes! Way to end the first half. Homestead leads by 8.
That's a huge way to end it right there. Max Schiltz hitting the 3. Huge shot for Homestead.
Let's go down to sideline reporter Jenna Lane with head coach Chris Johnson on the sideline.
Thanks, Brayden. Coach, you're up by 8 points now. Some hot three-point shooting from Northrop in that first half. How would you assess your team's play?
Well, I mean, we came out slow, which isn't good. We picked it up as far as on the offensive end. They're hitting some threes, like you said, but hopefully we can contest those a little bit better second half.
Thank you. Good luck. Brayden, back to you.
Thank you, Jenna. Homestead up 35-27. We'll send it down to Anthony Gery and Noah Johanningsmeier after this short break for the halftime show. Spartans up 8, heading into the locker room.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ooh, I can't wait to get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
This is the OPS Halftime Report.
And welcome to the OPS Halftime Report. I'm Anthony Gery, joined alongside Noah Johanningsmeier. And Noah, how about that first half between Homestead and Northrop? Homestead faltered early on, but they really came back.
Yeah, they were struggling early on in that first quarter. Northrop was able to play pretty good basketball, being able to score consistently even without Jalen Jackson performing that much.
And Jalen Jackson, he didn't play as much. He had 2 fouls, was in a lot of foul trouble early on. But either way, when he came back to the game, he made his presence known. He drew a couple of fouls. And Northrop, they don't look out of it yet. They don't look like their hopes have gone down.
Yeah, Northrop is definitely still in this game. They have a lot of talent on their roster and expect Jackson to get going in the second half, even though he didn't play the greatest first half.
And now we're going to take a look at our stats from the first half. And Homestead is on fire from beyond the arc and from the free throw line. They are doing everything they can shooting the basketball.
Yeah, Homestead has just been on fire all around. 5 for 6 from beyond the arc. They have been playing perfect. And then looking at the rebounds as well, they are doubling Northrop in the rebounding battle, so they really are controlling this one.
And Fletcher Lawyer's leading the way for the Spartans with 10 points. He is doing really well from beyond the arc. A couple pull-up three-point shots that he has aced, really helping Homestead get back in this game and now run away with it.
Yeah, it's been Fletcher Lawyer along with Andrew Leeper, who also has 10 points in that first half. Those two just worked as a tandem together to get this Spartan lead.
And now we're going to take a look at some scores from around the SAC. And earlier in the girls' side, a couple surprising games as Concordia was able to take care of Northside and Bishop Dwenger took down Southside. But then the big game, Carroll lost to Snyder, making Snyder officially finish second in the SAC.
Yeah, we knew that was going to be the game in the weekend for the SAC in girls basketball, and Snyder was able to walk away with that 10-point victory, and it was a nice one for them to get second in the SAC.
And on the boys' side, Snyder is ahead of Carroll right now, up by 10 in the second quarter. That's really the game that we're going to be having our eyes on. If Carroll is able to beat Snyder, Homestead stays in the race for the SAC championship, but Snyder right now controlling their own destiny.
Yeah, Snyder completely controls their own destiny. Homestead and Concordia both hoping for a Snyder loss right now. And Concordia, they're up big on Northside, so they still are in the race for the SAC title for sure right now.
Now we're going to take a look at our SAC headlines. And how about a little bit of football? The SAC is going to be represented very well on the football field this weekend in the NFL championship games.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend in the NFL. If you're a SAC fan, just being able to watch two former SAC stars, Jesse Bates and Ben Skronik, play on the national level on the big stage.
And Snyder senior Carson Jenkins, who lit up Spartan Arena a couple weeks ago, hit 1,000 career points in a win versus Concordia last Friday.
Yeah, one of the best scorers in the SAC finally gets to that career mark that he has been trying to get to, and the 1,000 point, that is exactly what you want, and it's a huge one.
And we had the celebration just behind us a couple minutes ago, but Homestead senior Ayanna Patterson became the first SAC and Fort Wayne player in girls basketball history to be named to the prestigious McDonald's All-American game.
Ayanna Patterson has been dominant throughout her career at Homestead, and she deserves the honor she is now receiving. She is an All-American, and she has proven it in it every single game.
And now we're going to take a look at the sectional that the girls will be playing in, and there's a couple exciting games to look for. Columbia City will most likely take care of New Haven, a top 20 team in the Sagarin ratings. Probably will take Noah in the sectional semifinals.
Yeah, this sectional semifinals and championship will not be easy for the Spartans. Columbia City is a great team. They only have 2 losses, and that is going to be a tough test and a tough task for the Spartans.
And likely in the championship game, Homestead will have to face Huntington North, the team that held them to the least amount of points this whole season, only held them to 45, and Huntington North is a dangerous team. They play very slow basketball that could cost a lot of Homestead time.
Yeah, a top 30 team according to Sagarin ratings in the state. This is not going to be an easy sectional for the Spartans, having to play against tough teams in Columbia City and Huntington North, most likely.
And that's going to do it for the OPS halftime show. Stick around for the OPS postgame show after the game over. But now it's time for the second half between Homestead and Northrop.
Rethink your limits.
And welcome back to Spartan Arena. Homestead up 35-27 after one half of play. Thank you to the guys down courtside for that halftime report. They will be back for the post-game report. And we've got a big, big game here tonight at Spartan Arena. And it has been all about the three ball, all about the shooting tonight. Both teams have found success in stretches. And Homestead, they have the most recent stretch as they're up by 8. And they extended it from 5 to 8 with a wild Max Schiltz 3-ball to end the first half.
Yeah, that was a great way to end the first half, was Max Schiltz hitting that 3. But I think the most surprising thing about this game so far is If we came into this game and told you Jalen Jackson was only going to have 3 points in the first half and Northrop would have 27 points, you might call us crazy, but that's what happened. Jalen Jackson limited on minutes, only scoring 3 points, but Northrop kept themselves in the game. Other players stepping up. Alexander had a great first half, so if he can keep it going, Northrop got a chance to get right back in this game.
Northrop's definitely not out of this game. They just need to find some success in a stretch and get on some kind of run, and Jalen Jackson's got to get going. He's only got 3 points in this one.
And we know this team is capable of runs because they went on one there in the first half and right away, so this team is definitely capable of getting right back in.
Nice little scoop layup by Devin Campos. So he gets up to 5 points. Fletcher Lawyer, top of the key. And he is fouled by Jaden Schmink, a blocking foul. First foul of the half, and that is his third as he enters foul trouble.
Already there in the third quarter, just right away, he takes his third foul. Now what you want to see for Northrop is a player in foul trouble, a starter in foul trouble. Not good sight for Northrop already.
Schmink averaging 7 points per game, 2.3 rebounds per game. They need him on the floor, and Lawyer hits it from the top of the key on Schmink.
Huge three right there by Fletcher Lawyer. Just a good answer from Campos, getting down low and making a 2-point bucket, and Lawyer comes back down and makes a three, extending the Homestead lead.
Jalen Jackson blocked down low. Grant Leaper got there. Swing. Nice layup off the glass. Got by Schmink. Northrop on offense, down 11 as Homestead not quite done with their run. Jackson feeds Alexander, not clean. And a turnover for the Bruins. Homestead looking like a fantastic team right now out of the gates, and Grant Leaper down low. 13-point lead now for the Spartans.
How about that run to start here in the third quarter? Homestead up by 13, moving the basketball well, getting down low. Grant Leaper finishing. Homestead playing great right off the bat in the third quarter.
And you got to think, when is Jalen Jackson going to get going? Only at 3 points, averages above 30 a game. Schmink from beyond, no good. Lawyer board for Homestead. Feed to Swing. Nice cross-court feed to Leaper. Lawyer, three-pointer. Yes! Fletcher Lawyer, 16 points in this one, and the Spartans up 16.
Homestead is rolling right now. Fletcher Lawyer is getting going, up to 16 points. They gave him way too much space right there, and he took advantage of it, hitting a big three.
When you see Lawyer get his footing, oh man, it's over. Just call it a three-pointer. Get to the defensive side, it's over.
Yeah, when I say gave him too much space, they gave him just, when you're guarding Fletcher Lawyer, you can't give him more than an inch. They gave him a whole lot of inches right there. That's just way too much space to Fletcher Lawyer. You got to be on him at all times.
And Northrop out of the locker room. They have not gotten anything going through the first 2 minutes, 16 seconds of this third quarter.
Yeah, and they came out right off the bat. Devin Campos got a 2-point bucket underneath the hoop, and then it was just Homestead all after that. Fletcher Lawyer hitting a three. You had Grant Leaper finishing down low. So Fletcher Lawyer, we see it right here, 4 of 4 from the three-point line. He is having a phenomenal shooting night.
It's almost like Kyron Kalpawiki, who started off 5 of 5 against Lawrence North. This team has been shooting fantastic in their recent games. Whistle blown and a foul on Homestead. Call it on Grady Swing. Second personal for Swing. Student section doesn't like that call.
A tough break right there. Grady Swing taking his second foul. Just a tough break for Homestead.
Schmink gives to Jalen Jackson. He's only got 3 points in this game. Smith moving in on Leaper. Grant Leaper. Lawyer tipped it from him. Picked his pocket. feed to Andrew Leeper. Give Kalpawiki now swing. Bounce pass. Lawyer. Hezzy. Step over. Three-pointer with contact. No good. Out of bounds off of the Bruins.
You know, Homestead getting lucky right there, getting the ball back. You get another opportunity to go right back and make another bucket.
Baseline inbound for the Spartans. Kalpawiki tried to get it to Andrew Leeper. Gets it to him after Campos almost came up with the steal. Oh, he couldn't finish the jam. Wide open space, and he couldn't get it. On the other end, Smith called for the charge, so Homestead's going to get it back.
Another charge taken by Homestead. That's their second of the night, and just an obvious one right there, leading with the elbow. And Fletcher Lawyer takes a charge, just taking it right back to Homestead after a missed dunk. They take it right back with a charge.
Swing with it for the Spartans. Oh, and his pocket stolen. Oh, and ball on the ground. This really is the grease pig today. Won't stop moving around the floor. Players don't have control of it. Swing, three-pointer. No good. Rebound. Campos. Whistle blown. Foul called. That was going to be on the Spartans. A push on the rebound attempt called on Kyron Kalpawiki. His third foul.
We saw a flash up on the screen right there. Turnovers at 8-8 right now. So Northrop caught up in the turnover battle. 8-8 right now. Homestead, key to success is you got to win the turnover battle. And right now, they are handling themselves well.
Jalen Jackson with the ball. Like we said, is just so unexpected. His scoring tonight, 3 points out of a player who averages 30.5 a game. This really is a complete anomaly of a game for him. Can't hit that one. Foul calling on Max Shilton. It wasn't even a shooting foul. So a baseline inbound coming up.
Obviously, Jalen Jackson does have the opportunity, a lot of time left in this game, but you know, at the end of the game, if Homestead goes on to win this matchup, I think everyone's going to go back to the score sheet and just look at Jalen Jackson's points and just question it.
Schmink with it for the Bruins. Give Campos hesitation, mid-range jumper. Northrop just cannot hit a shot, but Jackson will get a layup for the team. And finally, a basket from Jalen Jackson in the second half. Lawyer thought about a step-up three, give to Schiltz. He'll take a corner shot. Not in the basket. Jalen Jackson with the board. Moving in. Whistle blown, and that's a foul on Grady's swing. That's his third. Another Spartan foul trouble as Afani Ezecudo checking in.
And so now you got Kyron Kalpawiki with 3 fouls, Grady Swing with 3 fouls. Right now, Homestead looking at a little bit of foul trouble, you know, late in the third quarter. Now what you want to see for Homestead, you want the starters in this game in the fourth.
Three-pointer by Smith. No good. A jumper still will not fall for the Bruins. Rebounding foul on Homestead. Call it on Ezecudo, his first, the team's 5th. As already Northrop starting to get closer and closer to being in the bonus. Jalen Jackson in the mid-range, double teamed. Gets it out, Campos, three-pointer. No good. Rebound Lawyer, and a foul on Jalen Jackson as he pushed off trying to get the rebound. And that is his third as he is in foul trouble. Man, he has had an off game completely in this one.
Threes all over the board. You got Schmink with 3 fouls, Jalen Jackson with 3 fouls, Grady Swing with 3 fouls, Kyron Kalpawiki with 3 fouls. A lot of guys with 3 fouls.
Ezecudo, and he is called for the half-court violation. Pretty much trapped between the half-court line and the defenders. And Northrop forces a turnover there.
Just a little bit of a mental mistake right there. Got to know, you got to have awareness. You got to know where you are on the court. And right now, Afani Ezecudo goes across him, passes it back. Just, not good awareness right there.
Campos, dish to Schmink. Lead Reynolds. Smith with it at the perimeter. Bounce pass to Jalen Jackson and a foul called. Yet another one on the Spartans. This time again on Afani Escudo, his second. Baseline inbound coming up for the Bruins. Homestead leads by 14.
Already 9 fouls called in this third quarter. Fouls were something that we addressed there in the first half, and it's just continuing over here into the second half.
Innes has it. Feeds Smith. Near the corner, no space. Right back to Innes. Oh, a nice little dribble move, and gets a floater to go. Northrop finally gets something other than a layup in this second half. Escudo feed to Schultz. At the mid-range, bounce pass Escudo, and he gives to Andrew Leeper. Fletcher Lawyer to the baseline. Nice backdoor feed and a jam by Grant Leeper. Two-handed with authority.
That's just a great dunk right there by Grant Leeper, and that got the crowd into it, got the bench fired up. That's just a setting tone right there for Homestead here in this third quarter, getting the crowd into it with a dunk.
Smith, top of the key, 3-ball, no good. Rebound Lawyer. Moving quick across the court. Step up, mid-range jumper, good for Fletcher Lawyer. He's up to 18 in this game.
I think right there on that Northrop possession, they're feeling a little bit of pressure right now, down by 16, and I think they just forced a bad shot, not the shot they wanted to take. You got to get it down low.
And a missed shot. Whistle blown. And that's going to be, looks like a foul on Jalen Jackson. That's his fourth. That was a great jam by Grant Leeper on that offensive possession, but really it's about Jalen Jackson. That's his fourth personal foul. The officials discussing a bit here, deciding whether or not they will call this. And it'll be a double foul. So one on Andrew Leeper, his first, only his first. But it's all about that one on Jalen Jackson, his fourth. Their star player who has had an off night to say the least, as he hits the bench with 4 fouls. And Dalman Alexander checking in for him.
You know, you got Jalen Jackson right now with 4 fouls, and going into the fourth quarter, it could be a late check-in for him. Maybe if Northrop goes on a little bit of a run and they find themselves back in this game, then you can maybe have just a little bit of confidence to bring Jalen in off the bench. But right now with 4 fouls, you really can't put him back in the game. That's too much of a risk early or late in the third quarter.
4 fouls, down 16. I'm sure Coach Chamble needs to see a little bit from his squad in order to feel comfortable putting Jackson in the game. 1 foul and it's done. Don't want to throw away the game like that by keeping him in the game. Oh, a hard foul. Very hard. There's been a lot of these tough fouls, sending players hard to the floor. That one's on Jaden Smith, his third. Northrop is finding themselves in a lot of foul trouble. Really, both teams are. Lawyer off the glass, no good. Board goes to Schmink. That's a whistle blown. Yes, it's another foul on Grant Leeper now, his third personal. That is Homestead's 8th foul. Jaden Schmink to the line.
And you combine Northrop's, some of their starters fouls. You got Jalen Jackson with 4, Smith with 3, and Schmink with 3. So that's 10 fouls just combined on 3 starters for Northrop. Going in this matchup, you don't want to send Homestead to the free throw line, and they've been doing that a lot tonight.
First free throw good by Schmink. He's up to 4 points in this game. Team down 15. And Northrop, they were keeping it close in that first half, but Homestead has really excelled now. The Bruins just a sloppy third quarter.
And I think it started, it really did start. Homestead came out firing right away in the third quarter, went up double digits and then never really looked back, and Northrop hasn't been able to draw themselves back in this game and drop it to lower than double digits.
Tucker Day caught nothing but the bottom of the net. Northrop on offense, Campos to the baseline. Feed out Smith. Hezzy, mid-range jumper. Yeah! Nice take right there by Jaden Smith.
Northrop going on a little bit of run here to end the third quarter. A little pressure defense, trying to trap the Homestead defender from getting up the court. And right now, Northrop, you just feel a little bit of momentum trying to go their way, hitting a couple tough shots right there near the end of the third.
20 seconds left. Homestead going to hold for the final shot of this third quarter.
This could be a crucial shot for Homestead. It could just really take away from Northrop what they just did, making 2 straight buckets.
They're putting it in Lawyer's hands. 5 seconds. Hezzy, 3 ball. Whistle blown, and he is fouled. Jaden Schmink fouling him from beyond. That is his 4th. A second Bruin with 4 fouls. And Fletcher Lawyer, the best free throw shooter on this team at 86% at the charity stripe for 3 shots. Can't hit the first, but he's still got 2 to go. 1.7 seconds left. Northrop's not gonna have much time after this. It's that one. Up to 19 points.
That's just a tough break for Northrop because now you got 2 starters on the bench with 4 fouls. And like you said, Brayden, Chammel's going to want to see some things from Northrop in the fourth quarter to have to bring those guys back in.
Wild shot. You know, that was relatively a nice distance there. And after 3 quarters of play, the Spartans up 14.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Spartans up 14. 8 minutes left in this ball game. And taking a look at some scores in the SAC. The boys' games going on right now. Concordia up 12 on the Legends. Snyder 43-24 over the Chargers at half. Dwenger up 3 against Southside in the second quarter. And then Wayne and Bishop Lures playing a low-scoring affair right now with the Knights up 15-11.
Yes, Carroll having a tough time there against Snyder at home. And, you know, we know Snyder #1 in the SAC. For Homestead to want to win the SAC, Snyder has to get knocked off. And, you know, Carroll looking like that's not going to be the team to do it. And then you look at Dwenger and Southside, a very close matchup. Southside kept it close with Homestead, and the Dwenger-Homestead game wasn't that close. So, you know, that's going to be a good one there. Probably going to be a close finish. Could go down to the wire between Southside and Dwenger.
Homestead with possession to start it off. Smith tipped it out. Baseline inbound coming up for the Spartans. Homestead 13-5 on the season. Just 1 loss in conference play. They cannot afford a second one. Deep throw by Max Schultz to Afania Zakuto. Feed Andrew Leeper. 3 ball. No good. Rebound. Tucker Day gets it. Second chance bucket. 3 points for Tucker Day in this game.
Tucker Day, one of the younger players on Homestead this year, and he stepped up right there. A great rebound and a great finish at the bucket by Tucker Day.
Smith from beyond. Stuck. Makes his move. Spins around as Zakuto and got rejected by the side of the board. Offensive board. Ennels, tough one, is one! With a lot of contact, got it to go.
Good finish right there at the bucket by Ennels. He's having himself a great night, up to 13 points. And Andrew Leeper, tough foul to take right there, but Ennels with a great finish.
Free throw good, just a 13-point game. Northrop giving themselves somewhat of a chance here. 7:15 left to go. Lawyer lost the ball. Ball on the ground. Jump. Possession arrow pointing to Homestead. And actually, the officials are going to give it to Northrop. A little bit of confusion down on the floor. Bruin ball.
It's like this is the opportunity maybe for Northrop to try to claw back into this matchup. Down by 13, so obviously you do have a little bit of work to do, but right now you're getting it right back. So Northrop got a chance to cut this to within 10.
Three-pointer by Norfleet, the third! Northrop giving themselves a chance. Just a 10-point game now. Schultz, bullet to Andrew Leeper, stolen. Norfleet the third coming in and making an impact immediately. The quarterback for the football team. Deep three by Campos, no good, rebound Lawyer.
Right there, I think Devin Campos just forced a three, trying to keep the momentum going. And right there, that's just a tough shot and one you don't really need to take in that situation.
Schultz left wing, guarded by Campos. Hand off Andrew Leeper, now Lawyer. Give to Ezecuto. Smith guarding, back to Schultz. Bounce pass Lawyer, guarded by Innes. Moves to the baseline. And a foul called on Innes. That is the 7th foul for the Bruins, so a 1-and-1 coming up for Lawyer.
And look at that three right there by Norfleet the third, just giving too much space, and he hits it. That was a huge three. Obviously Northrop now within 10, and that got the crowd into it. Northrop's crowd starting to give a little bit more juice.
5 on the floor now for Homestead after some substitutions as Grady swing, Kyron Kalpawiki, Fletcher Lawyer, Andrew Leeper, and Grant Leeper on the floor. For Northrop, it's Roosevelt Norfleet the third, Amarian Innes, Jalen Jackson, Dahlman Alexander, and James Smith.
I think if you're Homestead, you got to look up at the scoreboard and realize Jalen Jackson, 4 fouls. You want to attack the basket and see if you can't get him that 5th foul. That could be Homestead's strategy when they get the ball back.
Smith can't create space on Lawyer. Jackson now with it. Beats Alexander, heading inside, gets some space. Tried to jam it, tried to get a posterizer. Fouled by Grant Leeper. So he's heading to the line.
You know, it's always hard to question. Obviously, when a player has 4 fouls, they want to be more careful. But Jalen Jackson, he feeds off the crowd. He feeds off the loud. So I don't think he's going to, take a step back and try to play it easy. He'll still be the aggressive Jalen Jackson that we know. It's just tough because he does have 4 fouls.
And speaking of 4 fouls, Grant Leeper reached his 4th on that last one. A lot of players in this one are 1 away, 2 away from being on the bench permanently.
Well, when you have 17 fouls in the second half, you got to assume some players are going to be deep in the foul trouble. And we've seen a couple at 3, we've seen some at 4.
Homestead on offense, 11-point game as Northrop trying to come back. 5:37 left. Fletcher Lawyer. Feed Andrew Leeper, left wing. Give to Grant Leeper. Hand off, Kalpawiki has some space, takes a three-pointer. No, front of the iron, not kind to him. Ennels with it off his feet, but Norfleet the third's got his back. Step up, 3 ball. No good. A little too strong, just a tiny bit. He almost had it. Lawyer with it for Homestead. Swing, right wing. Bounce pass feed, Grant Leeper. Little hook shot, got it over Alexander. 13-point game, he's up to double digits. 3rd Spartan to hit that mark.
And doing it with 4 fouls right there. Still playing aggressive and going after it.
Ball up in the air and off the hands of Jalen Jackson. Homestead gets it back.
Right there, I think we saw a situation where Jalen Jackson might have been able to get it, just doesn't want to get too aggressive because he does have 4 fouls.
Fletcher Lawyer across the timeline for Homestead. Tough shot off the glass, and he is fouled.
Obviously, the player you don't want to see going to the free throw line for Homestead is Fletcher Lawyer, and it feels like I say this every game, but it feels like Fletcher Lawyer is the player that goes to the free throw line the most, and right now he's sitting with 22 points, 6 of 7 from the free throw line.
Missed that first one.
Right there, he hits another one. So it's just a player for Homestead that going down the stretch in a close game in the fourth quarter, you'd feel confident with Fletcher Lawyer at the free throw.
And he's got 10 rebounds, too. So he has a double-double. Playing a great one, just a second double-double of the season. Smith spin around, and one. Nice one by Jaden Smith. Giving Northrop a little bit of life with 4:29 left.
Yeah, just trying to keep Northrop in the game, and right there hitting an and one. That's definitely keeping Northrop in the game, keeping the fans into it. Northrop not going away quietly.
And one free throw, no good. Kapowicki board for Homestead. At the perimeter, guarded by Jaden Smith. Gives to Grady, swing right back to him. Grand Leaper. Little hook shot, good. He's up to 12 points in this game. 5 away from tying his season high. Eddles left wing feed, Norfleet the third. Few passes. Jalen Jackson double teamed. Escapes with Norfleet the third. Eddles gets some space. And he is fouled by Fletcher Lawyer, so Eddles is going to the line for 2 free throws with the double bonus.
Yeah, tough foul to take right there by Fletcher Lawyer, up to his 3rd foul in this, in the game. He's up to 3 fouls right now. Obviously, with 3 minutes left, you're not too concerned about that, and Northrop's got 2 guys out there with 4 fouls.
There have been a lot of fouls in this game. Whole lot called, 18 in total in just the second half. Absolutely insane. Fletcher Lawyer with it for Homestead. Bruins up 13. Kapowicki top of the key. Lawyer, he took a little shot to the head. Tight defense from Jalen Jackson. Grand Leaper can't get it to go. Kapowicki offensive board, spins around. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Grand Leaper, fouled. Can't get it to go. And he is heading to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, good rebound right there by Grant Leaper, getting a second chance effort. You look at him tonight, 12 points tonight for Grant Leaper, 100% from the field goal.
Playing a great game right now. As that puts him at 13 points as he makes the first one. Spartans up 14, 3:22 left. We thank you for joining this broadcast. Been a fun one. Nice way to spend your Friday night. 3-pointer by Schmink. Yeah! Little rainbow shot. Got it to go.
Great 3 by Schmink, keeping the Northrop fans into it, and Schmink hits a big 3.
Oh, and a steal. Eddles tried to lead on Schmink. He saves it, but it's in the hands of Lawyer. Tried to beat Norfleet the third and lead him on with a pass. Oh my goodness, Andrew Leaper going for a jam of gigantic proportions, but Norfleet the third is there to shut it down. Fouled him though. That's foul number 20, by the way, in the second half.
Yeah, so that means probably in total that there's been more fouls called than Fletcher Lawyer has points in this game.
First free throw good for Andrew Leaper. Lawyer up to 24 points. That's what he's got right now. Andrew Leaper can hit the second one. 12-point lead. Jalen Jackson, step up, no good, and he is in the game, by the way, with 4 fouls. Coach Chambles hit that desperation mode.
Well, yeah, you were hoping to put him back in when they went on a run, but Northrop never really found themselves back in the game, so you almost just have to put him back in.
Shots like that by Lawyer, though, are killers to a comeback. And when you can't hit them like that, it's not going to help either. They need everything on their possessions.
Yeah, you need turnovers. You need a lot right now, and Northrop not even putting pressure on Homestead.
Lawyer gets it to go. The Northrop bench calling for a travel. But they're not going to get that call.
Well, what a shot right there by Fletcher Lawyer. Almost to the ground, knees almost to the ground, and he still finds a way to get it up and hits the shot.
Smith moves in on Lawyer. Whistle blown. And a foul.
I mean, look at that. Lawyer's almost to the ground. He has to jump up and just throw it up like a circus shot, and he still gets it to go. What a shot right there by Fletcher.
Jaden Smith at the line. He's got 7 points in this game. 3 of the Northrop players on the floor right now have 4 fouls. 2 for Homestead have 4 fouls. 1 has 3. There's not a single player on the floor right now who does not have a foul. This has been a game that has kept the whistle in the officials' mouths.
Hey, you always feel like you do see 2 types of officials during the games. You see the ones that'll call everything. You see the ones that don't call much. So tonight, just a tough one. A lot of fouls called in this one.
Homestead up 14 right now. Kalbawiki feed Andrew Leeper. Thought he was going to take the space he had. Swing, he'll take a shot, no good. Gets his own offensive board with the help of Grant Leeper. 90 seconds left in this game as the Northrop student section packing up, getting ready to go. Andrew Leeper, second chance attempt, and he's fouled on the way up. That one is on. They're going to call that on James Mallory. So now there's not a single player on the floor with less than 2 fouls. First one good by Andrew Leeper.
Just a crazy game. In the first half, we saw Northrop in foul trouble all the way throughout that first half. We said going into the second half, you got to clean that up. And then you come out and both teams have 10 fouls in the second half. So, that was something that necessarily didn't get cleaned up there after the first half.
Jalen Jackson has it. Northrop kind of slow right now for a team down 15 in desperation mode. Shot no good down low by Smith. Kalpawiki now with it. Tried to get Grant Leeper down low. Norfleet the third's there to intercept and tip it out of bounds.
Yeah, almost to a minute left in this game. Homestead came out in that second half and they just hit it going right away. Came out flying around, passing the ball well, and they just continued that throughout the game.
Lawyer three-pointer, caught nothing but air. And Smith has it for Northrop. Step over shot, the mid-range, not in the basket. Andrew Leeper with the rebound, 45 seconds left. Coach Johnson has not put his reserves to the scorers table. Looks like he will run the rest of this clock with the squad on the floor. Kalpawiki not opting for that shot, and he passed to nobody there. And Lawyer is not happy with him there.
And just a little bit of miscommunication right there. Just kind of turned around and threw the basketball. No one standing right there giving Northrop one last possession in this game.
30.8 seconds left. Homestead up 15. So they're looking to improve to 14-5. 5-1 in the SAC. Northrop going to fall below 500 in the conference. Owen Ennels pulled up. He's holding his calf. Didn't take contact. .5 seconds left. And this is not what you want to see with no time on the clock, pretty much garbage time, and an injury on the floor.
Well, not with 15 seconds left in the game. Obviously, you feel like at this point, the game really doesn't matter with 15 seconds left. You see a tough injury taken right there. Not what you want to see this late in a game.
Athletic trainers working his leg a bit. .13 lead Homestead has. Next game they'll be facing New Haven. That'll be on the 2nd, and after that on the 8th they will take on Wayne. Looking at some scores around the SAC. Got some close games between Southside and Dwenger, 40 apiece, and Wayne Lewis 37-30. We got some blowouts as well, as Concordia up 21 against Northside, and Snyder up 19 against the Chargers.
Yeah, you look at that Southside Dwenger game, 40 apiece, and that one's going to go down to the wire. Two good teams. Two teams at Homestead are looking to knock off Snyder here coming up. So that's going to be an exciting matchup to go back and watch and see if one of those two teams can knock off Snyder.
Ennels is okay in walking, must have just had a bad leg cramp. That's what the athletic trainers looked like they were doing, working his leg out. Homestead will have possession, 15.5 seconds left in this ball game. Lawyer has it across the timeline, 10 seconds left, and Homestead can pretty much wind the clock down, improve to 14-5, 5-1 in the SAC, and walk away with a 68-55 win over the Northrop Bruins.
Good win right there for Homestead. Played great in all 4 quarters. Got off to a slow start, but man, did they capitalize from that and came out and got a huge win against Northrop in the SAC.
They really did have a slow start. Northrop was able to get up 10-4 to start off the game, but after that, Homestead really took over and dominated the rest of the way, especially at the start of the 3rd quarter where they caught fire.
Yeah, that was a huge start to the 3rd quarter for Homestead, and just all 4 quarters, it was a great game for Homestead.
Solid performance by the Spartans. As 3 Spartans reach double-digit scoring, we're about to go to one of them. Fletcher Lawyer, 28 points in this one. He's on the court with sideline reporter Jenna Lane.
Thanks, Brayden. I'm here with senior Fletcher Lawyer. And Fletcher, the game started out with a big lead by Northrop. What changed in order to get you guys back in it and get the win tonight?
Yeah, we usually like to go out and throw that first punch and try to get on top of them early, but they came out, they played us hard, and we let down a little bit. But we got in, started picking up our energy and playing better defense, and we took the lead.
Tonight you had another big game, nearly a triple-double for you. Talk about trusting your teammates to take some of the load off of you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of the load is on me, but they came out, played hard D, and we moved the ball well. And with them up pressuring me, my teammates help out a lot. They trust me to get them the ball, and I trust them to get me the ball. So just playing together, really working well, and getting the win.
Big win to stay in contention in the SAC. What's the mindset of this team each conference game now?
Win everything. We know we got to keep winning to somehow finish first. We know we're going to need someone else to get a big win. So just playing our game, getting better, and ready to make a big run in March.
And where do you think this team is right now compared to where you want to be with a month left in the season?
We're just working to get better each and every game and each and every practice too. So really coming in, everyone working well together and trying to get wins is all we care for.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Brayden, back to you.
Thank you, Jenna. Once again, your final score, Homestead 68, Northrop 55. We'll send it down to Anthony Gery and Noah Johanningsmeier for the post-game report. I'm Brayden Carroll, Chris Kohrman, your color broadcaster. Post-game coming up after this.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome to the OPS Postgame Show. I'm Anthony Gery alongside Noah Johanningsmeier. And Noah, how about that game? Homestead, they ran away with it in the second half and didn't really look back.
Yeah, at the start of that second half, they came out hot, went on a 10-2 run, and they were just able to control the game and the pace of the game ever since that run.
And Fletcher Lawyer turned it up. How about him? He shot the 3-ball super well and was able to make a ton of defensive plays on offense, assists. He really did it all for the Spartans.
Yeah, he was the main scorer for the Spartans and led the way. He was able to knock down crucial three-pointers to get the momentum building for the Spartan squad.
And the Leeper brothers, too, as well. They were set to have big games against the undersized Northrop team, and they did just that. Andrew Leeper with 13 points and Grant Leeper with 12.
Yeah, the Leeper brothers combining for 25 points. That's exactly what you want to see if you're the Spartans. Whenever those two both step up, you are going to most likely see the Spartan team win games because they need those two to step up.
And now we're going to take a look at our final stats of the game. And Homestead, there it is, the three-point shot was on fire. Not as good as it was at the end of the first half, but 54% from beyond.
Yeah, 54% from beyond and just 55% overall. They were shooting at elite levels throughout that entire game.
And they really won the rebounding game as well. We talked about the Leapers having incredible shooting games or scoring games. They also rebounded the ball the best they possibly could, out-rebounding Northrop 32-20.
Yeah, whenever you're able to shoot as well as the Spartans did and then out-rebound a team with that much significance, you are definitely going to be able to dominate that other squad.
Very much this game was in Homestead's favor. Now we're going to take a look at some of the scores from around the SAC. And a couple games not over quite just yet, but the important one, at least for Homestead fans, is Snyder versus Carroll. And it doesn't look like Snyder is going to be giving up that lead in the SAC anytime soon.
Yeah, it looks like Snyder, Concordia, and Homestead will remain with a three-way tie that Snyder has the tiebreaker in at the top of the SAC through tonight's action.
And all the other games not quite as surprising. Lures over Wayne, Bishop Dwenger barely leading Southside at the moment, and then Concordia having a big win over Northside. Any of those games really surprising to you?
Just looking at the Dwenger Southside game, that is definitely a top matchup. Those are two teams really competing with the other three top squads in the SAC, and we see those two close right now.
And Noah, any final thoughts from this game?
Just overall, great play from both of the Leapers, and Fletcher Lawyer was the guy to lead the way for the Spartans in this one tonight.
And he really was, and that's why he is a Purdue commit. That's going to do it for us here on Homestead Live. Final score, Homestead 68, Northrop 55. On behalf of Noah Johanningsmeier and the entire Homestead Live crew, I'm saying goodbye. Have a marvelous weekend.